From Belarus, Russian forces launch a salvo of missiles at northern Ukraine. Officials report that strikes have occurred in the Chernihiv region, as well as places outside of Kiev in the vicinity of Zhytomyr. As the Ukrainian southern attack looks to be gaining momentum, Russian forces launched a salvo of 25 missiles from Belarus into the northern regions of Ukraine. According to Ukrainian officials and Belarusian opposition figures, the early morning wave of missile strikes, launched from the territory of Russia's main ally, hit targets in the Chernihiv region, including an apartment building, as well as places outside of Kiev and in the vicinity of the city of Zhytomyr. Vyacheslav Chas, the governor of the Chernihiv region, reported that 9 missiles had fired near the village of Honkarivska, with some of them landing in a neighboring forest. The strikes coincided with Ukraine's inaugural Statehood Day celebration. Volodymyr Zelensky, the president, wrote in a greeting to the nation, "Restless morning. Once more, rocket horror. We're not going to quit. Do not be fearful. Ukraine is a sovereign, free, and undivided nation. And that's how it will always be." Increased penalties on Belarus were demanded after activists monitoring Russian military activity in Belarus claimed the missile launches originated from the Zyabraka airbase near Gomel. Svetlana Tsikhanouskaya, the head of the opposition in Belarus, denounced the most recent escalation by her country. She tweeted, horrified to witness how Russia continues to assault Ukraine using Belarus. This morning, at least 25 missiles were fired from Belarus against Kiev, Chernihiv, and other places. Lukashenko is not fooling anybody. He must be held accountable for his atrocities against Ukrainians and Belarusians. A Ukrainian counteroffensive in the country's south, according to British defense and intelligence experts, has effectively cut off the Russian-occupied city of Kherson and exposed hundreds of Russian troops stationed along the Dnieper River to high vulnerability. Kherson was lost to Russia in the early stages of the invasion, which was started by the Russian President Vladimir Putin on February 24. Ukraine has made it plain that it intends to retake Kherson. It stated in a routine intelligence bulletin that Russia's 49th Army, stationed on the west bank of the Dnieper River, currently seems dangerously vulnerable. Russia's efforts to portray the occupation as a success would be greatly undermined by its loss. Witnesses from the southern regions of Ukraine that are under Russian control claim to have seen Moscow attempt to transport columns of equipment to bolster its forces there and report a sharp rise in Russian military planes. No section of the city is secure from Russian strikes, according to Kharkiv's mayor. However, Russia seems to be using poorly trained soldiers and, in some cases, vehicles with makeshift armor, as it tries to both protect the south and continue its stalled advance in Donbass. Images of a boat being operated on the Dnieper to repair the damaged Antonovsky Bridge, one of the key ways into the city, which was seriously damaged by a Ukrainian missile strike early on Wednesday, appeared on social media, underscoring the vulnerability of Russian forces in and near Kherson. Alexei Danilov, secretary of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, had earlier tweeted that Russia was concentrating the largest amount of troops in the direction of Kherson, but had not provided any other information. In what amounted to a strategic change from assault to defense, Alexei Arestovich, a Zelensky advisor, claimed that Russia was moving its forces massively from the east to the south. Zelensky declared that Ukraine would reopen the Antonovsky Bridge and other nearby crossings. In his Wednesday night address, he stated, "We are doing everything to make sure that the occupying forces do not have any logistical opportunities in our country." Russian officials had previously stated that they would use ferries and pontoon bridges to transport their men across the river. The second largest coal-fired power plant in Ukraine, built in the Soviet era, was taken by forces backed by Russia on Wednesday, marking Moscow's first substantial victory in more than 3 weeks.